Why is space black? Every clear night, the universe performs the same silent ritual. One by one, the stars begin to appear. Some burn with a steady brilliance. Others are so distant, they seem ready to vanish into the darkness. For thousands of years, people have stood beneath this same sky. They have mapped the stars, named the constellations, told stories about the lights above them, and searched the heavens for answers. Yet hidden within that familiar view is a question so simple that most of us never stop to ask it. The universe contains hundreds of billions of galaxies, each one filled with billions of stars, an almost unimaginable amount of light. So why is the night sky dark? Shouldn't every direction we look eventually end on the surface of a star? Shouldn't the heavens shine with an endless ocean of light? But they don't. Instead, between every star, there is darkness. A darkness so familiar that we rarely question it. Yet that darkness may be one of the greatest clues the universe has ever given us, because the night sky is not black by accident. The forest. Imagine walking into a forest, not for minutes or hours, but forever. No matter how far you travel or which direction you choose, your eyes always meet another tree. There are no clearings, no empty spaces, only an endless sea of trunks stretching beyond the horizon. Now imagine stopping, close one eye, and look straight ahead. Your line of sight eventually ends on the bark of a tree. Turn around, another tree. Look left, another tree. Look right, another tree. In an infinite forest, every direction eventually ends the same way. Now replace every tree with a star. If the universe were truly infinite, filled with stars, and had existed forever, then every line of sight through space should eventually end on the surface of a star. The night sky shouldn't be sprinkled with tiny points of light. It should blaze from horizon to horizon. There should be no darkness at all. And yet, every night, we step outside and find the exact opposite. A sky dominated by darkness, broken only by distant islands of light. Somewhere between what logic predicts and what our eyes actually see lies one of the greatest mysteries in the history of astronomy: the puzzle. For centuries, this question refused to disappear. The more astronomers observed the sky, the stranger it became. The stars were real. The darkness was real. Yet somehow, the two refused to fit together. The mathematics pointed in one direction. The night sky pointed in another. If the universe were infinite, filled with stars, and had existed forever, then darkness simply shouldn't exist. There was no flaw in the logic. And yet, every clear night, the sky proved it wrong. This contradiction became one of astronomy's greatest mysteries, a puzzle that would later become known as Olbers Paradox. But despite its name, it isn't really a paradox. It is a clue. A clue that one of our assumptions about the universe must be wrong. Perhaps the universe isn't infinitely old. Perhaps it isn't infinite at all. Or perhaps the answer lies somewhere far more extraordinary. Because sometimes, the greatest discoveries don't begin with finding the right answer. They begin by asking why something so obvious isn't true. The universe had a beginning. The answer begins with something we experience every single day. Light doesn't arrive instantly. It travels fast enough to circle the Earth more than 7 times in a single second, yet still not infinitely fast. Everything we see has taken time to reach us. The moon, about 1¼ seconds. The sun, just over 8 minutes. The nearest star beyond our solar system, more than 4 years. And distant galaxies, millions, or even billions of years. When we look into the depths of space, we are not simply looking farther away. We are looking farther back in time. Now imagine a galaxy so unimaginably distant that its light began its journey long before Earth even existed, a journey lasting billions of years. And imagine another galaxy, even farther away, so distant that its light is still traveling, still crossing the universe, still making its way toward us. To us, that galaxy remains invisible, not because it isn't there, but because its story hasn't reached us yet. This is why the universe has a horizon, not a wall or an edge, but a limit to how far light has been able to travel since the universe began. Beyond that horizon, there may be countless galaxies, entire cosmic landscapes, places filled with stars. But tonight, their light is still on its way. The darkness above us isn't empty. It is filled with stories, still traveling across the universe. The light we cannot see, but the age of the universe is only part of the answer. Even the light that finally reaches us has not arrived unchanged. The universe has been expanding since its very beginning, not by throwing galaxies into empty space, but by stretching space itself. Imagine drawing a wave across a rubber band. As you pull the rubber band apart, the wave stretches with it. Its peaks drift farther apart. Its rhythm slows. Light behaves in much the same way. As it travels across an expanding universe, space gently stretches every wave of light. The longer the journey, the greater the stretch. Astronomers call this phenomenon redshift. Over millions, or even billions of years, light that once shone brightly in the visible sky can be stretched beyond the limits of human vision. Not because it has disappeared, not because it has faded away, but because it now belongs to a different part of the spectrum. The light is still there, still crossing the cosmos, still carrying the history of the galaxies that created it. We simply cannot see it. To our eyes, the universe appears darker than it truly is, because much of its oldest light has quietly slipped beyond the reach of human sight. The meaning of darkness. So, why is space black? Not because the universe lacks stars, not because there isn't enough light, but because the universe has a history, a beginning, a moment when the first light set out on its journey. Some of that light has already reached us. Some of it is still crossing the vastness of space, and some has been stretched so far by the expanding universe that our eyes can no longer see it. The darkness above us is not empty. It is the boundary between the stories that have arrived and the stories that are still traveling. Every star we see tonight has already shared a part of its history with us. Every galaxy is a message carried across millions or billions of years. And every dark space between those lights reminds us that the universe is still unfolding. That somewhere, right now, countless photons are crossing the cosmos, beginning journeys that future civilizations may one day witness. Perhaps the greatest mystery was never why space is dark. Perhaps the real mystery is how much of the universe is still on its way. So, the next time you step outside and look up at the night sky, remember this: you are not looking into emptiness, you are looking at a universe, still telling its story. One ray of light at a time. Stories written in light.